Thanks for staying with us and welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. What are the so-called lesser-known political parties in Nigeria doing about the matter of presidential nomination forms, which seems to have assumed added dimension since last week? And how can they be considered relevant in the discussions ahead of next year's elections? The Labour Party usually comes across as the People's Party. What is it doing at the moment in terms of orientation and mobilization of its members for the ongoing continuous voter registration, which is scheduled to wind down in June? What is the relationship between the Labour Party and the Nigerian Labour Congress? And how does it intend to exploit the intrinsic electoral benefits of such a relationship? And what are the party's plans for young people, women, and other disparate groups, like the physically challenged? Joining us now to have a chat about all of that is Arabambi Abayomi, the National Publicity Secretary of the Labour Party. Good morning, Mr. Abayomi. Good to have you in the studio.
Good morning.
All right. Is Labour one of the 18 struggling parties to, be like the two big parties, or are we missing something about the importance of Labour that, if we look at what is happening in the UK, for example, Labour is such a big name, it's expected to be a big name. Where are you in the scheme of things as we approach 2023?
Well, thank you very much. We are not one of the lesser parties. Because in Nigeria, you are aware, Mimiko was governor under this political party for 8 years.
That's correct.
The current Deputy Senate President was elected under Labour Party, but decided to abscond, to APC. Yeah, no. The current Deputy Senate President, that's the man from Delta.
Oh, Omagege.
Omagege, yeah, was elected on the platform of our party, but decided to abscond, to APC. You're also aware, Adam Oshiomole, all of them started, from us, but for some reason, been known to them. Probably because...
Mimiko didn't start with you. He joined you.
You said?
I said Mimiko didn't start with you.
No, but you won that election right from the first time.
I'm saying that if people leave, you should also acknowledge that some people joined you too.
Yeah, it was actually advertised, in PDB then. They said they can't run against the governor then, Agagu. But, he chooses just to pitch his 3 months, to the election, and, he won. Even Adam Oshiomole, for them, probably because, the two major political parties, they have made Nigeria a preserve of the rich now. So everybody, will run there. You can remember Abegunde, the man in Ondo State, was elected on behalf of the Labour Party, but the man decided to, until when the court now, declares it vacant. And I'm even happy for that, because when the bigger party, when they throw you out of their contest and you come to a party you feel it is small, and yet we see mobilizing people to vote for you, and you got elected, only for you to now think because of something, that will land your pocket in the bigger party, you just abandon that cause and you now run, to the other, party. It's very wrong. I must give it to the judiciary. When you cross carpet, they should be sent packing. They should be sent packing. I know what the judiciary is doing. They are really living up to the expectation now. It is wrong when a party finance the mobilized vote for you, only for you to now felt, oh, they are no more important. Why didn't you stay in the other party, where you are, when they say, oh, you are not good for them? Like, imagine Omagege. Omagege was supposed, he ran under ACN, but, he lost out in the primary. What did he do? He ran to Labour Party, and he won the election, only for him because of this Deputy Senate presidency. He was, he was looking for the position, and he felt, oh, from the opposition, he couldn't get it. He ran there. Now he had what he wants. The governor, he said he wanted to run that Labour Party now. He's going back there now to say, oh, I want to be governor in Delta State. But, all of us will just fold our hand, and be looking at them. So we are, we've been in Nigeria for a very long time now, but and we will continue to...
But how are you prepared for the 2023 elections?
Yes.
Do you have a presidential candidate,
yeah,
for example?
Of course. In fact, we zoned the president seat to the south. Because we felt the North have had their share. The Northwest, they are going to complete their 80 years now. So it is just normal for the South, to take over the mantle of leadership. But most importantly, we are considering the youth. You will be shocked when we unveil our presidential candidate, by next on the June 3rd. I think it should be one of the youngest. One of the youngest.
You have an idea of who the person will be?
No, I don't want to, give it out about, we are going to use a youth, as our president candidate, so that at least Nigerians will now be able to tailor their mindsets away from this money politics. They should, take away this yoke of docility. Let them embrace, what will better their lives, rather than, taking rice 5 kg, 10 kg every 4 years. And when you throw somebody to the National Assembly, will tell you you have your share. So let me at least enjoy my money.
Why is it important for you to go towards the youth as opposed to someone who's more competent? I mean, there's been this whole push for youth engagement and all of that. But some people might say that we have had a few young people, for example, the governor of Kogi State, who a lot of people actually do say he is one of the youngest and probably has run the state aground. I mean, what would you say to that? Wouldn't you be more interested in focusing on someone who's competent as opposed to someone who's young?
Well, competence is a key factor, that we do consider. When I say the guy, I mean the person is a youth, we have gauged his competency, his versatility, political acumen before we now zero down, on him. He's also a professional. By the time, you people will take him on, in this association, you will know that definitely we have someone tangible that can unseat whether the Professor Shibajo, Tinubu and co, all of them put together, will be able to manage to outclass them. Because what we need right now is that somebody who will take us out of this economic deficit. I cannot imagine how many professors President Buhari has in the administration, that they will now put a budget before the National Assembly, and they will have the audacity to tell Nigerians that, we have a budget of 17.something trillion, but we are going to have so trillion deficit, and we will still go and borrow money. Under the Fiscal Responsibility Act, you don't borrow money to do the current expenditure. But I don't know why these are professors, running this government, Buhari, will continue to encourage him. And today now, we are borrowing money to pay debt. I just hope that all of us one day, most of the creditors will not pick us on the street to say, your country is owing us, come and work, in our train station, so that at least, they'll be able to pay back the way, they are running this country now.
It sounds okay. Well, it sounds as though the Labour Party, through your prism, seems to be. Well, though you haven't given us the name of your candidate, you seem to have a clear idea of who it's going to be.
Primary.
So it seems as though the structure that the Labour Party is taking is one of a consensus candidate, one where the people within the party are discussing and seem to be in some level of consensus that this is who you will put forward.
Of course.
So with that being one thing, a consensus agreement on one hand, the fact that you are within your party zoning to the south of the country on the other, it does seem as though you've had your ear to the ground in terms of what people have been asking for in terms of the leadership of this country moving into 2023. But I do want to talk about the party itself, because a lot of times when we talk about people defecting from one party to the other, it's more because of personal gain as opposed to party ideology. And when you hear the Labour brand or the Labour word, you certainly associate that with a certain level of ideology. So within the Nigerian example of the Labour Party, is that something that kind of continues on the thread? Because when you think of the Labour Party in the UK, for example, you know that that's a party that brands itself as being for the many and not just the few, that care about social policy, that care about, for example, government subsidies that help socio-economic causes. So when we look at the Labour Party in Nigeria, is that something that, in terms of the ideology, is very similar, or is it just a name?
Well, our ideology is completely different, from those that has held this country since 1999 to date. And it's also evident, from the nomination fee, posted out by APC. It's very obvious now that APC, technically, deliberately, they are planning to make sure Nigeria is exclusively preserved for the rich. So that once you don't have money, you have no business there. For us as Nigeria, probably they want to push out to Togo, they want to put out to Zaire, to now be running their government with them. Just like you said, I don't know how another Nigeria will now be able to have its own quota to change the narrative we have since 1999. when you are selling form, at such an high rate, I don't see any young businessmen, even professors. Is it the people they are not paying salary? All our students, they are at home. Even when you graduated,
the form is free for women, and it's free for women. The APC that you have cited,
yes,
is free, totally free for women.
Across all the political parties.
And then at 50% to the youth.
Yes.
How much are you charging in Labour Party?
Well, our own is 15.
15 what?
Yes, 15 million.
Only.
For the president. Okay. Yeah, for the president.
All right.
Now, where am I going is this. When you ask a youth to come and pay 50 million, that used to be a suspect. I am telling you, either a Yahoo or something, for you to come and drop 50 million in a party. And I can assure you, don't forget, like she asked me now, our primaries for president, we are not going to be more than 400 all over Nigeria.
At the convention for the primary?
Yes, at the convention, 350, 400. You can't compare that to 7,000 people that will be flying from all over Nigeria to Abuja. They are going to give them hotel. They will feed them. And at the end of the day, when they are going, they will give them something they call stipend from all of them. All of them. All the 15 will do that money. Are they going to recoup that money? It's very, very expensive. Than where you have fewer people that will choose a person that will give Nigeria a direction.
You don't think that if Labour becomes a ruling party, the same thing will happen? Because you will have delegates from all over the country.
No, it's in our constitution. It's in our constitution like that. Yeah, it's in our constitution. Even when Mimiko was there, during his second term, yes, you can see the few number of people there. You have 555 per local government. 555 per local because our party is poor.
People may find that a bit, shall we say, discriminatory. That people want participation. Why are you limiting the number of people who should have a say?
No, other than the ESCO, other than the executive, yes, the P555 delegate, plus them, that is all that will go in. Because by the time you have extended all you have on the party primaries, what do you even have to do the campaign? And don't forget, these two political parties, they have commercialized campaign structure in Nigeria. That whatever you are going to do, people are waiting for you. Something on the left, then I give you my thumb, on the right, on the day of election. On the day of election, you see people putting 5,000 inside bread. Last election, it's like that. You see money inside bread. When you vote, somebody will just come and shake you, take bread. It's not bread. It's money. And they will catch their vote for 4 years. They will continue running like that for another 4 years. We have seen it now. Some people are campaigning on issue. Some people are campaigning, on financial inducement. People are giving rice now. People are giving oil. That should be the pattern that we are going to base our politics on. And that kind of narrative that Labour Party is quite, we are very distinguished, from the way the two major political parties have been running the affairs of the country. And our belief now is that Nigerians should, change their docility from some infrastructure. So that when you look at people, let us look at our future. Now I'm going to give you an example. Nigerian government told us they are going to pay 5,000 naira to 40 million Nigerians. We don't have a database. That I know in Nigeria. We don't have a database for that. No Minister of Health cannot tell me in this country how many births, how many children have been given birth to Nigerians today. They cannot tell us how many deaths we have recorded in Nigeria today, but yet they want to tell us they have 20 billion every month. But the ASUS, the university lecturers, how much do they want for the federal government? Why do you want to give 20 billion every month to unknown Nigerians? Let us give this money to these striking lecturers now. Let them go back to school. Why do you want to? The school feeding is also in my village. I have never seen a bowl of rice given to anybody. But yet the minister will come out and say, oh, we have spent 160-something billion.
Where's your village so that the minister can notice?
You said?
Where's your village so that the minister can notice?
From Obasanjo, we are from the same household. So where do they feed the children? All these things, I don't think they are very important now. When we have senior citizens that have retired, their children, they are at home, their father, they are not being paid. The lecturer, they are also at home, school are under lock and key. Election is coming, a government is not telling us they want to be spending 20 billion every month. It is a lie. Don't spend that money for any 5,000. They said they want to caution the effect of petrol, this subsidy. But don't forget, during Jonathan era, they told us there was no subsidy. when they're in the opposition. Today they are there, they said they have subsidy. We are begging president, don't give 5,000 to a non-Nigerian. Pay, the ASU. Let them go back to class. Let all these our children, let them return to school. Election is coming. You don't be telling them that you want to be spending 1something billion on school feeding, you want to spend 20 billion. How much are they owing ASU? What about all the senior citizens that died on the road, when they want to go and collect their pension? These are some of the things that we, Labour Party, we are very different from them. It is about the people. The people must know there is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, and not Nigerian government now, by the rich, for the rich, and only for the rich. Yeah,
I'm sure a lot of Nigerians will agree with you in terms of the, putting that 20 billion with the, retired Nigerians and also the ASU schools and all of that. But what if they tell you that they do have a database to show that they are feeding people and they are providing that money to the most vulnerable? You also mentioned that, your party is pro-poor.
Of course.
And you guys are, you pegged your nomination form at 15 million, even though
for the president, yeah.
Even though Steve thinks is little change. A lot of Nigerians will disagree with you on that as well. No, so, talk to us about how you're financing your party as well.
Yeah, we have, in our party, every month you donate money. You
donate or you contribute?
You contribute money, via your membership.
Yeah.
And if after 6 months, you fail to contribute, you lose membership. So that is how we have been running the affairs of our party. Like, we don't have it, it's not that we, despite the years of Mimiko, we don't have, a national secretariat of our own. We are using a rented building, but we are contented because it is about Nigeria, it's not just about us. So, some that have the power, you donate 500 every month. Some will donate 1,000, some will donate 100 naira. We have a lot of, artisans, former and former sector, that are members, that donate money to us. Even civil servants among us. But the problem is that despite the court order that civil servants are free, once most of the governors in the state, once they caught you, doing, politics, queries will now begin to come in, from their permanent secretary. So that we also have an issue. And we and the TUC and NSC, we've been discussing that. They want to take on the government now that once the law says civil servants should participate, you don't need to be looking them. You don't need now to be running after them that because they didn't belong to you, they belong to a party you felt, this is an opposition political party. A lot of them have been giving queries, suspension, when they come to our meeting, but they do send their donations.
Well, what's your relationship with NLC and the TUC in terms of the sort of political ideology that Adefemi, spoke about? Are you the Workers' Party in Nigeria? And then secondly, I know that Mimiko is no longer a member of your party. I know that there is ZLP, isn't it? What happened along the line?
He has even left the Zen Labour Party. Now, for Mimiko, he was with us, he was in Labour Party, but you see, our constitution does not give leadership to governor. In our constitution, the state chairman of that party is the leader, not the governor. So when you come with a policy and the chairman felt that policy is at the people, they will not do it. And they cannot be sacked. You don't just remove party officials. I spent 80 years as a Labour Party chairman in Ogun State before, I became the national public secretary. So wherever we have officers, in fact, that was the same problem we have with Omagege. That was the same problem we have with him, trying to control the structure at will. But no, you can't do that because we have a constitution. Now, once you go against that constitution, you are on your own. If you remove an officer of the party, because we have to return the person back. If I must tell you, the way Shomole was removed, you can't remove a national chairman like that. If you are going to remove a national chairman, it has to be through a convention that he himself will sign at the national secretary to INEC that, there's an issue in Labour Party, and we want to sort it out. We must have discussed that at NEC, at the NWC at NEC. So we are quite different from them. So that's not the way we run our own. So Mimiko issue was his interest in PDP, to which we are averse to. When he left PDP, he came back to Labour Party. We went to receive him. But along the line, when you want to gag, the national, and the national said, no, Mr. Ex-Excellency, this is your position, we are not interested in. He went to the Labour Party. From the Labour Party now, he's back to PDP. So it's no more in Labour, it's back to PDP.
NLC and TUC?
Yes, in fact, sometime in March, we did this round table, TUC and NSC on 2022 Abuja. The thing was the role of organized labor in promoting participating democracy and good governance. We were there, and some of these things we highlighted was what I mentioned before, where they said, Ali, they needed to come, to towns with civil servants who are members, that no governor should now be victimizing them because, they are part of us. We are working together. We have a lot of them now that are running, that are even going to run for governors. Those senior members of NICTUT that are going to run for governor. Not like in 2019. We have a lot of them now, that we are working together. Both the TUC president, the NSC president, all of us, with our national leadership, because, they form the party with some members of the Labour Party. Yes. They are part and parcel. They are part of our executive at the state, at the national, at the ward, at the local government. We have NFC, TUC member, part of our executive. So we take decision at the NEC, we take decision together at the NWC.
All right, Mr. Arabambi Abayomi. Yeah, I wanted to say something else, but I just, we just want to thank you. I would have loved to ask you, if Labour does not win, are you not even does not win, are you likely to endorse a candidate at the end of the day? Like most parties do, when it becomes obvious that it's between APC and PDP, are you likely to queue behind one party?
Let me state this on
30 seconds, please.
Let me state this on behalf of NWC. We will not. Labour Party will not subsume our name, our logo with any other political party. We will run our campaign with our president come 2023, but we will not join. We will not subsume our name and party logo into any other political party.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Abayomi. We want to thank you for joining us today. And we wish Labour Party the very best in the coming elections. Thank you.